Hello again, it's Garsen, and have you ever looked up into the sky and saw the constellations, Shadowheart, Gale, and Lae'zel? Yeah, me neither. Alright, let's get this party started. Here we go. Gale, if you would. Let's go ahead, launch a guiding bolt. Hiya! Nice crit. How much was that? I don't know. 38. Good job. Okay, so, how about we drop a heal? Yes, demonstrate. Give you a heal. Oh, but look at this. The form of the chalice gives me a bonus heal. Bless you too. Okay. And next turn I want to be an archer. There we go. Alright. We got our little dryad here, so how about we get some free spike growth right over here. Bam. Okay. That's freaking crazy. Get that for free. Pass that. Okay. And then Shadowheart, if you would, how about we'll use our haste. Come over here. And we'll use our bonus actions. We get free arrows, pure radiant damage, cast some orbs on people, get arcane synergy built. Now we got arcane synergy with that. Haste, bless. Oh yeah. Pretty awesome. Okay. So you're dead. Boop. Okay. And then what about this guy back here? He wants some party. I want to join in. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and we'll keep the Dryad safe. Gotta finish this guy off if you would, Lae'zel. Nothing crazy, just beat him up. How about punch and a kick and a punch and a kick? Hiya! Perfect. Monk's broken. Let's get the rest of these guys involved. And keep our Dryad safe. Come on down! Alright, no problem. Okay, so like I said, how about Gale? You come over here, do something really crazy. Jump up here. I should have used the dragon to fly, that would have been cool. Alright, but first, we'll go ahead, hit you with a nasty guiding bolt right there. Hit the robot. Everybody gets radiant orbs. Nice crit, dude. He's slamming. Okay, so this time, I want to be the dragon. I'm a dragon! That's right. The wise dragon. And then Shadowheart, let's go ahead and kill the flank. Again, let's use 1 bonus action. And 2 bonus action. And let's hit him with the big arrows. Whoa-bam. Okay. And let's strategery over here. Let's put the spike growth a little bit closer this time. Oh, hold on. Okay. Yeah, right there. Boop. That's ridiculous. I like that. Uh-oh! More people are joining. Okay, no problem. So in that case, who we got joining us? How about we get a multi-arrow right on you? Perfect. Look at all those radiant orbs. And let's do another one. Boom, 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 boom. They all got guiding bolt. Nice. Okay. Some terrifying damage back there. And Lae'zel, how about draw them out? What we'll do first is we'll lay down a moonbeam. Oh, dang. Stop me. Dang mages. Alright, so we'll just use patience defense. Alright. Okay. It's my turn again. Well, what do you know? I think we need to take out that robot real bad. How about construct arrow? Bam! Nice. Sneak attack too. Alright, I'll take it. Then another construct arrow. Pew! And then you don't resist radiant, do you? Critical hit. Another pew pew. Alright, we're still hasted, so we can keep getting everybody with multi-arrow. Boom, 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 boom! Still don't need action surge. Back it up. Okay. Come on, walk through it. No, I'm ensnared. Alright, hold on. Let's keep it going. The Dryad. Get everybody in the circle. Boom! It's so great. Oh, I love Dryad. Alright. Get that spike growth. No, Gale! He's prone! Uh-oh. I have a funny feeling Gale's not gonna do something very nice. Alright, Gale. Let's see. How about you go ahead and blast him away with the sunbeam. Can we get him? Okay. Hold on. We're immune to snared, so. Alright, who's got the ensnare going here? Is it you? Over there? Mr. Ensnare? Okay. Well, I got something cooking for you. But, we have the mage too, huh? Okay. So, what we'll do is we'll Misty Step. No. What we'll do is we'll run. Run in there. Who's got the ensnare going? You? Alright, bucko. You're dead. No more ensnare. And then, can run over here. Make sure we get everybody in the blast. Maybe not Lazel though. Hey, boom! Now we'll change forms. Well, actually, I could just fly away because I'm a dragon now, right? Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's cool. Okay, but we won't. We won't. What we'll do is we'll change to the chalice. And now I'll heal myself. And since Lazel ran in there for me, I'll give her a little heal too. Can I reach her? I can't see her. Oh, dang. Okay, not a big deal. I'll just end up healing Shadowheart, give her the bless. Sweet. Okay, cool. And then now she can finish off that pesky mage, or at least keep her under check, right? Oh. Yeah, deflect those missiles. Throw them back. Oh, damn! Radiant damage! That was cool. Spike growth gets another one, baby. Oh, that was cool. That was cool. Okay, let's finish him off. Let's see. How about another construct arrow? Kill this guy. Boom! Sneak attack. Boom! And then you over there. Boom! What? You're not dead? Here, have a bonus action. Pew! That scream is terrible. Oh my god. Alright, Gale wants a little fun though. Hold on. Oh, nope, he lost it. Alright, not a big deal. And then, of course, how about a guiding bolt? Oh, actually, use your fist one. It's level 4 for free. You might want to back up a little bit. I'm gonna finish you off dirty. Hiya! That's cool. Okay. Here. I got you, Gale. Don't worry. Get up, buddy.
I'll fix that.
Buddy! Alright. There you go. Good little demo there. Very clean. Very controlled. Alright. Everybody get over here. Come on. There we go. Gale got knocked out of his starry form, so. Actually, Gale, this is a good thing. We'll actually show him right here. So, we're talking about the Druid of the Stars. You can change your form with the star shape. Okay, but let me actually pull up some notes. We'll go over proper. Of course, we're talking about Circle of Stars, the new Druid subclass in patch 8. So, it's Druid, it's a subclass, Circle of Stars, it's new, but it's all about blinding them with the light, baby. And of course, today's video sponsor is you, as always. So, we'll talk about that later, but as always, thank you guys. So, patch 8. Larian is going to add 12 new subclasses, 1 for each class. So new subclasses, woohoo! It's free, it's not DLC, it's actually just patch 8. It's the final patch, just like the last one, and I think the one before that. So hopefully we keep getting the last patch over and over again, right? But it's based on Larian's Homebrew. So what I mean by this is the game itself, Baldur's Gate 3, has 20 levels as a level cap, and it's based on the D&D 5e edition, rather. What I mean to say is Baldur's Gate 3 lowers that down to 12 level cap and kind of fits a more video game world, right? So we are at max level here just for demonstration purposes. Keep in mind what I'm going to show here is not just might going to be different, it's definitely going to be different. But it's going to be different based on Lariat's homebrew rules, and we'll get to that in a moment. But just keep in mind, I'm using a mod to help show and preview and kind of whet our appetite for what's coming in January and February with the new patch, all right? So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and check it out yourself. Let's do a quick breakdown on the actual levels. Keep in mind, we are a Druid, so that's what we're talking about here. So all those things included, we get in the new subclass at level 2, you choose the subclass and get Star Map, which the mod maker made it like this. It takes up your little instrument ability or instrument slot, right? And what this is going to do is give you guidance for free. You just get the cantrip guidance, right? Very useful. Druids already get this, so not that useful, but if you knew you were going into this, you could get a different cantrip like, say, Shilly or Thorn Whip, right? You get Guiding Bolt. Your proficiency is going to give you actually free cast of level 1 Guiding Bolt. So this one, the mod maker made blue. So level 1, 4d6 radiant goes off of your spell attack roll, and it uses your charges of, what is it? Star Map. So once you make the Star Map, it enables this, right? So you'll make the Star Map and equip it right here is the way the mod maker used it. And since our efficiency at level 12 comes down to 4, we get 4 free uses of it, right? So that's kind of why I made Gale kind of focused around that. But you get it per long rest, so after a long rest, you get all your charges back. Starry Form. Oh, on top of that, you also get the Guiding Bolt spell. So you can just, with normal spell slots, bring it all the way up to level 6 if you can, whatever your spell slots allow, right? All right. Okay, moving on. So we got Starry Form. So Starry Form is actually what Gale just did here. At level 2, you just automatically get all the choices, and there's 3 of them in total. Before I show you the advanced ones, let's go over here and switch. I'll show you in-game. Starry Form Archer is going to give you the ability to use a bonus action, ranged spell attack, that gives radiant damage. It's a 1d8, I think, right? Yeah, what does it say here? Yeah, 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier. And Shadowheart's got a +4 wisdom modifier, so it's going to come out to 5 to 12 damage, as you can see here. It's 1d8 +4, and it's a spell attack. Even though it's considered an archer arrow, it's not actually using your weapon attack, it's using your spell attack, right? So ranged, bonus action, radiant damage, and yeah, you just keep casting that once per turn, or as many times as you have a bonus action. If you go with the Chalice form, right down here, what you will do is basically, anytime you use a spell slot to heal, so not throwing potions or sipping one down, but actually healing someone with a healing spell slot, right? You will actually get to get another bonus heal, and it's you or anybody in your like 30-foot radius, okay? So Gale here actually did that a few times in the demo, but what happens is you're going to get a 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier as an additional heal, and the way the mod maker used the tabletop rules or interpreted it is in a 60-foot radius, as long as I healed somebody, I'll get a 1d8 plus my wisdom modifier. It gets upgraded to a 2d8 later. But yeah, so anytime you use a heal, even something as useful as a bonus action, level 1 healing word will give you double the healing power. In fact, even stronger healing power if you think about it. And then if you combo that with something like the Whispering Promise and get additional bless or bonus temporary HP. So yeah, something to think about. And then if you go Dragon Form is more like outside of combat utility. So let's actually, I guess, switch to it, or I can't do it. Oh man. So we'll just look at it from here. But Constellation of a Wise Dragon. So when you make intelligence or wisdom checks, like in dialogue checks, you can treat any roll that's 9 or lower as a 20, or a 10 rather. So if your d20 gets a low roll, you automatically just get a 10. Otherwise you're 11 or higher, right? So you get a lower roll, gets automatically switched to 10. That's great for dialogue checks. You also get advantage on Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. So earlier, if I used the Dragon form while using something like Sunbeam, I would have had advantage on my concentration saving throw. So that's pretty cool. You get dialogue checks, concentration saving throws, and if at 9 or lower, you get to it goes up to 10. So if we go to level 6, we get Cosmic Omen, which is going to sound kind of like divinity charges, but here, let me explain it a little bit. So at the start of your long rest, like after you had a long rest, what you'll do is you'll create your star map the little thing right here that grants you all these abilities. Level 6 will now let you get a Cosmic Omen charge. It's kind of a shame we didn't get to see it, but it is kind of like, it's strange. It's actually very simple, but yeah. I would liken this to more like Bardic Inspiration, but let's look at it. So you roll a die after you long rest, and you'll either get an odd roll or an even roll. If it's odd, when the target makes an attack throw or saving throw or a check, you can roll a d6 and subtract their roll. If your roll ended up even at the long rest, right, then you can use this to add or benefit to an ally when they make a roll, an attack, a saving throw, a check. So on an even roll, this kind of turns into a Bardic Inspiration, like a 1d6 Bardic Inspiration. That's the way to think of it. On an odd roll, it becomes like a negative Bardic Inspiration that you cast on your enemies instead. So that's the best way I know how to think of it. It's right down here, Cosmic Omen Wheel. I ended up rolling even, right? Yeah, so I ended up getting something beneficial that I can cast on my allies. I guess I can use it on myself too. So if Shadowheart here or Lae'zel needed to get like their I don't know, a dialogue check or something, I can give them a 1d6 charge, and then now Shadowheart or Lae'zel has it, and then for one turn they'll have that benefit. Okay, so you can set it to reaction, I'm pretty sure, but it just depends how the mod maker set it up. Yeah, Cosmic Omen Wheel. So there was never really a time during that demo I really needed it. Just shows you how powerful this subclass is. But yeah, pretty cool. Kind of like Bardic Inspiration. Moving on though, level 10 is Twinkling Constellations. So allowed to change form each turn, and then improves all the starry forms. Very simple. You can look at the details there, or you can look in game. And basically, I'm just allowed to change my forms. Instead of using the wild charge, I can just freely change to, say, the dragon form, or I can change to the archer form. So the more I've invested into this up to level 10, the more I can now kind of change on the fly mid-battle, because this doesn't actually cost you an action. It's just a little side option once per turn. You can change your starry form, so you can go into all those forms, and the archer gains another 1d8 radiant, so that becomes 2d8 radiant plus your wisdom. Okay, the chalice becomes a 2d8 heals like I showed you earlier. Okay, and then the dragon now the dragon now supposedly hovers, even though obviously the mod maker couldn't do that. Hey, I still appreciate you for making the mod and showing this off. But you can also have your movement can now fly around a little bit. Like I'll show you, if we switch to dragon, you now have a little like 10 or 20 foot radius of flying movement. So you can go to higher elevated ground, straight to it. I mean, flight is a pretty good movement ability in Baldur's Gate 3, so getting it for free technically is like pretty awesome. And then if we look past the level 12 cap in Baldur's Gate 3, you have Full of Stars. This is going to make your starry form incorporeal. What that means is you're going to gain the resistances of bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, right? So normally like incorporeal means you can't like attack or anything, but what's nice is now when you're in your starry form, you have a lot more tankiness, resisting these common, weapon types. And I think it's also supposed to be magical, so that's pretty nice too. Okay, so why am I even talking about level 14? So I mentioned Homebrew earlier. I want you to think of you're playing poker with your buddies, right? Hold on, I just lost this. Woo. There we go. So think of Homebrew like you're playing poker with your buddies, and maybe like all jacks are wild or something like that. So Larian does the same thing with the D&D table rules to better accommodate a video game setting, and also just what they think the game should be like. So there are vanilla subclasses like the Ranger Beastmaster subclass. This is very different and modified from D&D rules to sort of fit what Larian's going for with that subclass. That being said, there's already confirmation that the subclass is going to be a little different. So I'll put up in the page for you right here, and you read along. These druids, Circle of the Stars. The druids look to the stars for answers, accessing powers beyond those offered through classic wild shapes, taking one of these starry forms for their new power. And they describe the ones I just showed you. Each one of them have a little different play style, which is pretty cool. And then the archer dealing radiant damage, Chalice being more of a healer or support, and the wise dragon allowing you to deal damage with an added bonus constitution rolls. Interesting. That's not what I showed you. So, as I said, there's going to be differences with the tabletop rules and how Larian incorporates it. So the starry forms offer not just a celestial aesthetic, but practical, powerful options to enhance your role as a healer, fighter, or strategist. All right, cool. So that's what they've previewed and confirmed, but we just don't know exactly until January, February with the stress tests and ultimately patch 8. But maybe, because this is what they've done in the past, this level 14 becomes available at level 10 in addition to all those other benefits, because that's usually what they end up doing with those modified like level 14, level 12, or level 15 or so. But anyway, what I've noticed while experimenting with the stuff on screen, right, your role choices at level 2, when we get into the builds I'll show you, you can actually do a lot with just a level 2 dip into this subclass, which is pretty impressive, right? You get the little extra damage with the archer form, you have a little more support capabilities, and it grows in power with the chalice form, and then of course there's that face utility. And if we're reading right, there's a big difference with how Larian seems to be incorporating the dragon, so that's really interesting. Keep in mind, all these kind of go up with your proficiency, so even though you're not in the druid levels, just 2 levels of druid, as you level your character, not your class, you actually get more benefits from these anyway. So that's actually pretty cool. Level 6 seems a little like Bardic Inspiration, like I said before, or even Divination Wizard. You roll a dice at the beginning of your long rest, and then you have that for the rest of the game, but it acts more like a Bardic Inspiration, the rest of the day rather. Level 10 makes you feel very flexible, almost like a main character feeling, so maybe this is a good choice if you want, like, you're doing a new run, especially on honor mode, and you're like, oh, this is really versatile for like a main character energy. I can just do anything. I can be the face of the party, I can be damage dealer, I can be support. And then of course I want to see the level 14 incorporated into 10. This would make us pretty tanky for the investment of going that heavy into druid. What you're giving up for subclass is always something I consider. Keep in mind, Gale here is level 12 druid, so those 12 levels could have been a spore druid. He could be doing necrotic damage, he could be using his wild charges for like bear shapes. You can still do wild shapes in the subclass, don't get me wrong, but like you have less spell variety, even though you have a lot of it. You're a druid, right? But like Circle of the Land has more spells, and you know, something like haste at level 5. Circle of the Moon is more focused on the wild shape thing, turning into a bear and whatnot. But you're not giving up much. You're still getting a lot because druid's pretty good, pretty powerful. This seems better for a pure druid, right? If you go all in on it, like I did with Gale, you're like heavily focused on radiant damage. You have the flexibility of changing forms, but I'll get into it with that build. Multi seems very interesting. I've heard in the past, like, people like, druids are not good for multiclass. They actually are. They're pretty crazy for multiclass, especially because they're such an easy caster with all the options. But yeah, I mean, here on the specific example, I'm going to show you some pretty cool multi-classes. There's already stupidly good radiant equipment, so considering a lot of what we do is dealt with Moonbeam, Radiant, like Sunbeam, getting all these guiding bolts, which is something druids don't normally have. Yeah, it seems like we've got good equipment that we can build off of that. Okay, so one last word about druids before we move on to some build time. Just keep in mind they are full casters, which means whether you multi them into something else or you keep them pure all the way to 12 levels, you get a lot of spell slots, and they're what's called as known casters. They know their spells already, and you can just swap them on the fly. Oh, I don't need wall of fire anymore, I need confusion. I just swap it before battle and we're good to go, right? So you choose your spells out of combat, you have a list of them. They do come with medium armor, from what I remember. They have just proficiency in medium armor and like what is it, quarterstaffs and a few other things, so they have some good proficiencies right out the gate. They're versatile, meaning like they can change into a melee combat form with the wild shapes, and even in those there's a lot of them, and as you level up in druid these get better anyway, just natively. They obviously have tons of spells, and there's like full spellcasters. You can swap the spells on the fly, and of course you can always make them into some kind of weird melee, because if you know how to dual wield with weapons or dual wield with crossbows, right, you could always be some kind of mix between all of that. And then there's multi-classing, so you get wall yield charges. Like I said, they're already pretty good no matter what druid you go into. You get wild shape charges the more you go into druid, and these wild shapes actually get better anyway, and you get more options to kind of aid what you're doing. And these subclasses like Circle of the Stars just kind of give you new options to use your wild charges with these options, right? They are focus class, so wisdom focus, meaning most of your spells are going to be based off of wisdom, and you get the benefit of proficiency in the wisdom saving throws, as well as like your spell attacks and everything. Gale here has like crazy spell save DC and attack because he's so invested in wisdom, because we're focused on casting here. So actually good at face of the party. A lot of people will tell you charisma is the face stat. It's true, it's probably the best face stat, but wisdom is a good one too, especially depending on the class you play. Like Druid, you get unique dialogue checks and scenarios. This could actually be more beneficial in certain scenarios, or just for roleplay reasons. You might want to use a Druid as your wisdom face of the party, maybe your main character, right? Fantastic control spells. Oh my god, do I have to really like tell you? Like spike growth is insane. Quartering movement with plant growth, and this doesn't have concentration. You can stop other people's concentration by dropping a sleet storm. They have you can pull people towards you, you can push people away from you. There's daylight, so if it's too dark, you can put daylight in there. There's hold person, and the list goes on. Come on. All right. Okay, Shilly Dilly is basically a cantrip you can get from the beginning. So, like I said, even just a basic druid can still be a competent melee fighter with an oak staff or a club, because they can use their wisdom modifier for attack and damage rolls. So it just costs about bonus action, and then now your staff has for 10 turns the capability to actually do damage. Alright, no level 5 haste, which is a big one for all my like saying that they're full casters, but like I said, they do get spike growth. They get things like Wall of Fire. They even get elemental summons. Like I could have had one of these Myrmidons or fire elementals in the fight with us if I wanted to, and it doesn't override other summon slots like the Dryad here, who is exceptionally good. Dryad is a unique thing for druids that can constantly, without like stopping, just keep making spike growth. Has a little summon that she herself can make. Like, what the hell? A summon can make a summon? Like, Dryad's really cool. We'll make a video about it, trust me. Okay, let's make sure nobody gets killed by that. So, keep going. Alright, so Druid, we've talked enough about that. This is build time. I've tried to form a build based around each form, with Gale being the form that pretty much can do them all, because you can change them on the fly. But the forms are honestly great and can change around with any of these builds anyway. I just try to keep them focused towards one or another. Just keep that in mind. Okay, I had a little drinky there. Okay, so Gale. We're gonna reload this, and I'll actually show you a little bit more like in detail what Gale himself can do on his own. But before we do, let's actually look at what's under the hood here. So he is a level 12 druid all by himself. Good for him. He is the Big Dipper, the chalice focus, but like I said, this, since you went so far into the new subclass and druid, this can do any of the forms just competently, right? He has +2 wisdom feat, the alert feat, and the spell sniper feat, because if you notice, I kept getting crits on my guiding bolts. Even apparently, no, I'm not even going to say that. I was thinking I made Sunbeam crits, but I don't think that's true. Okay, I'd love for that to be true. That'd be amazing. But, yeah, we have the Viciousness elixir to get even more crits. So Spell Sniper, the Elixir of Viciousness, the Saravok Helmet, and the Deadshot. Excuse me. That's 16 or higher, and I do have the Risky Ring that would give us advantage, so we get double the dice rolls, double the chance to get a crit there. We have the Hag Wisdom, so we can get it all the way up to 20, and we are spell attack focused, higher DC and attack gear. That's why I said we are pretty loaded on the spell DC as well as the spell attack, right? Guiding Bolt, if you didn't know, is based on your spell attack. It's very similar to spell or like ranged or melee attacks, but it just uses your wisdom stat instead. You build it the same way. You get your proficiency in there, and you build up your stat, and so on and so forth, and you have to make a roll. Whereas something like Moonbeam or Sunbeam is a Constitution saving throw. They have to roll to stop your 19 roll, which is a very high roll. Good luck stopping that, okay? So the higher you can build that, the more accurate you could be. You are crit focused, because I just figured we have a lot of guiding bolts we could use. We even get 4 free ones, so that's kind of crazy. So I figured if we're going to toss out guiding bolts, we'll double the dice roll. The way dice work with a crit is they double, so this basic level 1 guiding bolt would become a 8d6, doubling all the dice damage right there. That's kind of crazy. Reverb abuse, since we are using spell attacks, that does mean we can crit, and since we are doing radiant damage, we can get radiant orbs. When you do radiant orbs, you get 2 reverberation. When you do a condition like radiant orbs, you get 2 reverberation. So, or when you have a reverberation, you inflict 2 more reverberation, and anything that has a spell attack gives 2 reverberation. So that's 6 reverberation in total. Risky Fring really ups the accuracy as well as the crit potential, and Whispering Promise isn't so much for Gale so much as when we switch to that healing form, we can not only heal somebody but bless them with our heals. Rhapsody adds a lot of spell save DC as well as attack damage and attack rolls, so it benefits both kinds of spells. Kind of crazy. And then we are risking our saving throws, so we get disadvantage on saving throws with the ring for the risk, but we can mitigate the risk with the shield, and this also gives us more spell save DC, so it's a natural fit. We have advantage on constitution saving throws, so again, natural fit. We have medium armor from Druid. I'm just trying to show you all the possibilities here. Okay, so like I said, let's kind of roll back a little bit, and I'll show you how this all kind of works. We're crit focused, because again, the Guiding Bolt reverb abuse, because Guiding Bolt can be radiant damage and cause 6 reverb per shot. We get free Guiding Bolts. We can upcast the damage on Guiding Bolts. We can change our form, so we're honestly good in any form. And if we heal, even ourselves, we can give ourselves Bless or somebody else Bless for 2 turns while healing them. So this guy's a bit of a freaking beast, actually. Pretty good for a non-multi-class, right? Alright, let's load this back in. I'll try and keep everybody else out of the fight, but no promises. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, let's back everybody else up. And like I said, one thing I didn't mention in the build is a higher level Druid does end up getting the Dryad, which I told you is very, very useful, probably underrated. Not the first to discover this by any means, but having spike growth, look how big that is. It's ridiculous, right? And you can cast that all the time, and that's concentration on her. So what you can do is you can give her vigilance, so you can always like cast it first in a battle and keep recasting it every turn, probably first, because she has pretty decent initiative with that vigilance and can't be surprised. So then you just get her out of dodge, right? Give her long strider while you're at it. Gale here can like control the situation without any concentration, right? Which means he can also further create concentration on, say, maybe like a wall of fire, right? And now, come on, drop it, drop it. There we go. So you have control from her, control from your own concentration, right? And then, of course, we can use like a bonus form. Because I can change my form whenever I want, I can be like, okay, I'm in the Chalice right now, that's good. I can give myself Bless. And because I just healed, I get a bonus Bless. So if she was closer, I could heal her too. I'd give her Bless as well. So just keep that in mind. Heal myself up a little extra. It's actually a really good heal too, the further you are in Druid. Okay. Haha. And remember, Bless also gives me a little 1d4 bonus on Constitution saving throws, right? So, I broke it. But that's because I didn't have disadvantage, nor did I have advantage, thanks to the Risky Ring. But, no biggie, no biggie. What we'll do is we'll actually just pop somebody. Actually, what we'll do is walk away a bit. Don't hit me. Ow, it hurt. Okay. So, what I can do is a bonus action. Pretty decent heal. Then I can go ahead and give myself a bonus heal with no other action, bonus action. And now, I can toss out a pretty strong Guiding Bolt. There you go. Look at that. And it did instant reverb because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 5, it pops the reverb, which causes a little bit of thunder damage and potentially makes them go prone, right? Now, if I want to, I can actually switch to the dragon form. Okay. Alright, now I'm dragon form. I can actually fly a little bit. So if I needed to, I can get over there. There's enemies, so maybe I'll just like hover over here. Ooh. Just wanted to show it. Oh, actually, you know what? Just to make things worse, just to show you, like, okay, now we're in a position, I'm out of the ring, so I can put a new spike growth up. Oh, yeah. And technically, this is still just one character, right? Because the summon is just an extension to my character. There we go. Perfect. Sorry, all these guys are dead. Yep, you're in the spike grove. Sucks for you. Yeah, so he can't even go after my targets because his movement speed has been halved. She's once again first, so we can keep recasting spike growth. And once it lands, it does damage immediately. And now that I'm the starry dragon form, I do get advantage on constitution saving throws. So I can go ahead for something big like Sunbeam. And now that concentration for 10 turns, I can keep recasting it. And of course, I can give myself a little heal. I won't get the bonus anymore, but it's okay. Okay. Pretty crazy. No, don't hit me. Oh, no, no, don't hit me. Alright. I think that pretty much demonstrates it. Let's just see how hard I can hit this guy. Hey, you! Oh, crit, baby! 45! Let's go! Alright, okay. Let's go on to Lazel. Oh, man. Immediately powerful. The moment I say we're playing a monk, you already know. I couldn't help myself. I went with the typical stuff. But if you don't know, we're focusing on the dragon aspect, right? Not really. I just use that as an excuse to make a monk. Okay, so Way of the Astral Dragon. Monk 8. So we did take monk first, and then I did incorporate the druid, star druid into this. Tavern Brawler for double the strength bonuses. We have 2 wisdom, so we can get more benefits for our wisdom, unarmored benefits. Our damage comes from wisdom as well. Resilient wisdom because it's +1 wisdom, but we get additional saving throws, proficiency that we didn't have before. Okay, we have Clad Giant because Tavern Brawler. No way. Okay. And then Way of the Hand level 6, just as a refresh. We do get Radiant Fist. It does go up with our Wisdom, so our Wisdom modifier is adding to our Radiant damage. We can switch to Psychic if something resists it. And then Radiant Gloves adds like a 1d4 Radiant, but also you get a little benefit with this. So let's have everybody walk back again. I'll demonstrate this in a second, but let's go here. Ungroup you. Okay. Okay, that's cool. I'm trying to click on Gale. Thank you. There we go. Da-da-da. So, like I said, we have the Radiant Gloves here, 1d4, but they give you, I didn't know this, they don't just give you a Guiding Bolt, they give you a level 4 Guiding Bolt. It's pretty cool. Like, actually kind of cool to use. Like a monk shooting out your Radiant Gloves. But the Wisdom gives you more damage and armor class, since the Radiant damage is based on your Wisdom modifier, and your armor class from Unarmored Monk. You do get a counterattack from the Cloth. This gives you 2 armor class, and you're not considered armor, so you get all those benefits, plus a counterattack on reaction. Your actions can then be used on ranged attacks like Guiding Bolt, because your bonus actions are stupidly strong with Flurry of Blows, like 60 to 82. So this is your actual action, and you could think of this as your bonus action. That's kind of how I think of it, right? Not to mention your action could be devoted towards spike growth, control, like hold person, heat metal, stuff like all those druid stuffs. Okay, so stunning strike is also possible since we're using a staff. The staff actually just adds a little, this is a very early game staff. I didn't know what to use. I just wanted to show off that if we're using our action on anything other than punching, then we can actually use the staff as a stat stick. So it gives you a little bonus to unarmed attacks and rolls, and you get 2 bonus to saving throws, so that's pretty good right there too. Oh right, because we're the dragon, right? We got bonus to saving throws. Okay, so the hood, this doesn't always work too well, but just for flavor, the hood is during this turn, if I do any melee, like unarmed attacks, I do get a bonus to DC, the spell save DC. So this would go up to like 18 or 19, I think, if I punch twice, right? So that would increase our capabilities of landing hold person. Sort of like a reverse Mystic Scoundrel ring. But yeah, free to concentrate on a spell since we're pretty much just a big damage dealer. So let's kind of give it a whack. Let's see what happens. Also, for those who don't know, Shilly is kind of trumped by your monk weapon, but I'll talk about that in a different video. Let's go for a Stunning Strike. And totally miss it. Oh, no, I got it. Cool. What am I talking about? Alright, so let's back her up. Come over here. So we got the Stunning Strike, so now we can absolutely obliterate him. Like, stupid damage. If you don't know Monk already, you will know Monk. Okay. And then, don't worry, we also always have the option to throw with Monk. With our Tavern Brawler damage, it's still crazy good. Okay. So you always have a card to play with a good monk build. There we go. Oh yeah, get the counter attack, bop him. I know that looked like my staff, but funny enough, that was actually my unarmed attack. Koshigo counter is always an unarmed attack, but hey, looks more flavorful that way. Let's pull this guy in here. Let's get him with the level 4 free spell from the gloves. See if I can hit it. Oh, I'm not going to hit. So I wanted to show you the Cosmic Omen, right? So this is going to add a 1d6 to the attack roll. And we still missed it. Great job, Gale. Okay. Hilarious. It served its job. So, where you going, buddy? I wouldn't do that. It's not my turn, but... yeah. Cosmic Wheel! Hey, it worked this time. That's what I wanted to do. I promise that's the way it was scripted. Okay. Get over here. I gotta build a show. I love how throwing weapon damage works that way. Yeah, crushing damage. Oh no, there you go. Okay, so let's come over here. Let's say, I mean, I'm gonna absolutely murder him, but if I don't murder him, okay, never mind. Forget what I was saying. If I don't murder him, we can punch him and get the extra spell save DC, right? So let me see if I can do this one more time. Come over here, and what we'll do is stagger the robot. Bop, bop. Perfect. Okay. Ow. Thankfully, robots don't resist radiant damage, so we still do some nice radiant damage there. But you can't restrain me. Okay, so we just did that. I believe, unless it skipped my turn or something like that. It didn't do it. Oh, interesting. So, I don't know if the hood doesn't work or whatnot, but the concept here is you still have your action, so you can hold somebody down, and then somebody can wail on them, or you can use your action first, and then get free critical hits with a guy kind of restrained there. And then you should have some pretty good evasion, right? Get the Koshigo counter again, and bop them. Perfect. There we go. There's one more thing I want to kind of survive the round on, show you. So another thing, this is a little cheeky, another thing about spell attacks, or ranged attacks. Aw, hit me. But I still have my concentration because of my dragon form. Okay, so another thing about spell attacks is, maybe you think your guiding bolt isn't that strong. Well, if you hold person down, and it's next turn and they're still held down, you can take your guiding bolt, run into melee range, and get a free critical hit. Woohoo! So, yeah, that was not weak, was it? Not to mention, we can kick his ass like that. So, just some mix-ups, some cool combos, not to mention, it's pretty cool being like, this isn't a Sun Soul monk, but maybe a Star Soul monk, something like that. Alright, cool. So monk's always disgusting broken, just ridiculous. Okay, so Shadowheart, obviously with the archer, I called her Artemis. Alright, so a little Artemis build. We have a Rogue 4 first, then we went Fighter 6, then we went Druid. I don't know how you would play this in an actual like play out of the game. You might have to keep respecking so that you can keep getting your Druid last. The reason you want your Druid last is so your Wisdom is your spell save modifier. Which will come and play with Arcane Synergy. So, little nerdy stuff while we're loading in there. While we load in the feats, I took 2 ASI twice, right? So we went Dex times 4, plus 4 rather. We got Sharpshooter, and I was able to still get 3 feats because Fighter goes up to 6, and Rogue gets a feat as well at 4. So, let's actually go here. Once again, let's bring everybody over here, and we'll on-group Shadowheart. Okay. So, while we're bringing this up, I'll show you the build right there. So like I said, we have the feats covered, and we did go with Heroism because she doesn't have the best accuracy without it, even with a legendary weapon. Sharpshooter on honor mode really makes things a little harder to hit, so Heroism's really not bad. Early game, late game, doesn't matter. Thief gives us 2 bonus actions because I wanted to focus in more on that little, for level 2 dip, you have a pretty cool bonus action to use, right? Especially if you're building for radiant damage. And then you have Fighter giving you feats archery, the little archery bonus, fighting style, and you get 2 attacks. Obviously at level 5 you get extra attack. Now if we use the legendary bow here, we get a celestial haste, which is pretty crazy, so now we have 3 attacks, okay? We have actions are going to be used for 2 arrows, duh. Our bonus actions are going to be used for 2 spell arrows, duh. Okay, every hit is going to do bonus radiant damage from the rings, and also, because of all the equipment, dish out 1, 2, 3, all these give radiant orbs whenever we do radiant damage. And then arcane synergy. So because we can hit the bonus action first and cause radiant orbs with our radiant damage, we cause the condition, and when we cause conditions we get arcane synergy, so we get a +4 bonus from wisdom added to our arrow damage. So this goes up from 1926 to like 23 30, right? So, and it makes our arrows magical, but it barely matters in honor mode, if I'm being real honest. Gauntremal is a legendary weapon, keep that in mind. So up until this Act 3, you would be really relying on your little, like, luminous arrow and any bonus damage from the ring to give you radiant damage, so keep that in mind. But legendary +3 gives you more accuracy and damage, possibly hits with a guiding bolt. That's the little special feature on Gauntremal. It is the radiant bow, so to speak. It's literally on light permanently forever, so natural fit for what I was going for. Possibly lands a guiding bolt, which is funny because the whole class is all about guiding bolts, right? Or the whole subclass. And then there is a special attack I didn't use, but it's the where is it? Oh, there it is. No wonder I didn't use it. It was hiding, and then it just disappeared. Great. Basically the special move is, like, if you've ever played Battlemaster, this is Menacing Strike, the range version. It even tells you don't need a superiority dice, which is hilarious, but it can frighten your target with intimidating arrows and does bonus radiant damage for like the next couple of turns on your attacks. All right, so you do even more radiant damage. What else we got here? Obviously it also comes with a level 5 haste on long rest, but it has no lethargy, so even though it's 5 turns, it's no lethargy, and you should murder everything in 5 turns, right? So let's give it a little whack. Like I said, pretty simple and straightforward on this one, because what we can do is haste ourselves, okay, and we can go ahead, use our bonus action to start getting arcane synergy ready while doing some radiant orbs up. Go. Nope, come back here. What are you doing? It's not your turn. Told you she's got initiative, man. Okay, I'll shoot you. Okay, and then of course anything in her radius will also get mad radiant orbs. The main target gets a bunch, the targets around her get a little bit, and then that's not all. We can also do our special move. Oh yeah, and now our arrows do even more radiant. Look at that. Tons of damage, especially a sharpshooter, arcane synergy. We're now heading for 24 to 30 damage. Pretty cool. And here we go. Alright, you're dead. Of course, as a fighter, the most broken thing, action surge. Of course. And you're dead. So look at that. All by herself. Okay. On top of that, you saw me use arrow many targets, so if you combo that with all the luminous orbs, radiant orbs, even deadlier. And archers are broken, man. You can double up their damage. Honestly, I don't try to farm arrows, but even just playing through the game, buying these, like, doing double damage on arrows is crazy. So I think that's gonna do it. The subclass, I already knew about it. I already tried it a little bit. That's why I had some pretty keen ideas of what I wanted to show today, but I wonder what you guys are gonna come up with in patch 8. Let me know in the comments. So as always, thank you very much, Larian, for making another patch. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Like I said, you are the sponsor for my video, so I appreciate you guys. Help me out a little bit if you could. Otherwise, this is the light at the end of the little series. We are on 11 classes, which means there's one more subclass to cover tomorrow. If this is the light at the end of the tunnel, you can imagine what's coming next, all right? If there's any other topics, I'm going to get back on the regular cycle of going over some of the stuff I want to share and explain about honor mode to help you guys get into honor mode. I think it's the best part of the game, the best way to play the game. I try to inspire people to do it and give you the building blocks to form whatever team you want and go have fun with it. So again, I appreciate you guys. Until then, you have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video.